Dark psychology is a collection of manipulative techniques used by certain individuals to influence, control, and dominate others without them even realizing it. What makes these methods particularly dangerous is that they are often subtle, leaving the victim unaware that they are being manipulated. Over time, these tactics can significantly shape your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions, eroding your autonomy and self-confidence. Therefore, recognizing the signs of dark psychology is essential for protecting your mental and emotional well-being. By understanding these tactics, you can defend yourself from being manipulated and take control of your life. In this guide, we'll dive deep into 11 signs that someone might be using dark psychology to manipulate and control you. These signs will help you become more aware of the subtle ways others may be influencing you and empower you to stand firm against manipulation. Number 1, gaslighting, making you question your reality. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious dark psychology techniques, as it works by slowly making you doubt your own perceptions, memories, and even sanity. A gaslighter will often deny events that have clearly occurred, dismiss your feelings as irrational, or convince you that you are overreacting. For example, if you bring up a legitimate concern, they may tell you, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things." Over time, this repeated denial of your reality starts to take a toll on your confidence and sense of self. You may start to rely on the manipulator to define reality for you, as they undermine your ability to trust your own judgment. As your dependence on their validation grows, you become more vulnerable to further manipulation. Gaslighting leaves you feeling confused, unsure of yourself, and increasingly reliant on the person who is manipulating you. The ultimate goal of the gaslighter is to control you by making you feel like you can't trust your own thoughts. Number 2, playing the victim to gain sympathy. Manipulators often play the victim to divert attention away from their wrongdoings and make you feel guilty for questioning them. By portraying themselves as the one who is suffering, they manipulate your emotions to shift the focus from their harmful actions to their so-called pain. For instance, if you confront them about their behavior, they might say things like, "I'm going through so much and you're making it worse," or "I can't believe you're treating me this way when I'm already struggling." This tactic works by making you feel guilty for even considering that they might be at fault, forcing you to abandon your concerns to comfort or support them. The more you feel sorry for them, the more control they gain, as you become less likely to hold them accountable for their actions. By shifting the narrative to their suffering, they keep you emotionally invested while avoiding responsibility for their manipulative behavior. Number 3, emotional blackmail, using fear, guilt, or obligation against you. Emotional blackmail occurs when a person uses your emotions against you to get what they want. They may threaten to withdraw love, affection, or support if you don't comply with their demands, leaving you feeling like you have no choice but to give in. For example, they might say, "If you really loved me, you'd do this," or "If you don't do this for me, I'll be devastated." This technique plays on your fear of losing the relationship or your guilt over not meeting their expectations. The manipulator makes you feel as though your actions directly determine their happiness or emotional well-being, creating an overwhelming sense of responsibility. As a result, you end up sacrificing your own needs and desires to avoid the negative emotions they stir up. Emotional blackmail can be particularly effective because it traps you in a cycle of compromise and submission, making it hard to break free from their control. Number 4, love bombing, overwhelming you with attention to gain control. Love bombing is a powerful manipulation tool used to quickly form an emotional bond and create dependence. At first, the manipulator showers you with excessive affection, compliments, and attention, making you feel special and adored. This overwhelming display of love may feel flattering, but it is a calculated move to hook you emotionally. The intensity of the affection can make you feel like you found someone who truly understands and values you, creating a deep emotional connection in a short time. However, once you're fully invested, the love bomber will often start to withdraw that affection, leaving you desperate to regain their approval. You might find yourself doing whatever it takes to win back their attention, including compromising your values or giving in to their demands. This cycle of intense affection followed by sudden withdrawal is designed to keep you emotionally dependent, making it easier for them to control you. Number 5, triangulation, involving others to create jealousy or rivalry. Triangulation is a manipulation tactic where the person involves a third party to create jealousy, competition, or insecurity. They may compare you to others, praise someone else in your presence, or even involve another person in the relationship dynamic. The goal is to make you feel like you're not good enough, prompting you to work harder to gain their approval or attention. For example, they might say, "Why can't you be more like so-and-so?" Or, "This person really understands me, unlike you." This creates a sense of rivalry. It's where you feel the need to compete for their favor, diverting your focus away from the manipulation at hand. Triangulation keeps you on edge, constantly striving to prove yourself, while the manipulator maintains control by keeping you insecure and off balance. If you notice that they are frequently bringing others into the conversation to make you feel jealous or insecure, it's a clear sign that triangulation is being used to manipulate your emotions and control your behavior. Number 6, silent treatment, punishing you by withholding communication. The silent treatment is a particularly cruel form of manipulation, designed to create emotional distress and exert control. When someone gives you the silent treatment, they intentionally withdraw all forms of communication, ignoring your messages, calls, or even your presence. The manipulator uses this tactic as a form of psychological punishment, making you feel anxious, guilty, or even desperate to mend the situation, often without you knowing what you did wrong. The emotional discomfort caused by the silence becomes unbearable, and you may find yourself apologizing or adjusting your behavior just to end the cold shoulder, even if you're not at fault. This reinforces the manipulator's power as they learn that withdrawing communication is an effective way to get what they want. Over time, the fear of facing the silent treatment can make you overly cautious, forcing you to walk on eggshells to avoid triggering their disapproval. If someone regularly resorts to this tactic to punish you for minor or imagined slights, they are using dark psychology to keep you in emotional suspense, exploiting your desire for resolution and peace. Number 7, devaluation, slowly diminishing your self-worth. Devaluation is a manipulation tactic that involves a slow and calculated effort to chip away at your self-worth. Initially, the manipulator may seem to admire and praise you, making you feel valued and appreciated. But over time, they subtly begin to tear you down, often in ways that seem small or insignificant at first. They might criticize your decisions, question your intelligence, or make belittling comments disguised as jokes. As these devaluations accumulate, your confidence starts to erode, and you begin to doubt your abilities and worth. What makes this tactic particularly dangerous is that it happens gradually. The manipulator wants you to believe that your self-esteem is crumbling because of your own shortcomings, rather than as a result of their manipulation. By keeping you in a state of low self-worth, they ensure that you become dependent on them for approval and validation. You may begin to feel that without their guidance or presence, you are inadequate, giving them greater control over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Number 8, isolating you from friends and family. Isolation is a classic technique used by manipulative individuals to gain more control over their target. The goal is to cut you off from your support system, your friends, family, and anyone who could provide perspective or assistance. This can be done in overt or subtle ways. The manipulator may openly discourage you from spending time with others, claiming that they're the only one who truly cares about you. Or they may subtly suggest that your friends or family don't really have your best interests at heart. In some cases, the manipulator may demand more and more of your time, leaving little room for other relationships to flourish. As your social circle shrinks, you become more dependent on the manipulator for emotional support and validation, leaving you increasingly isolated. The more isolated you are, the easier it is for them to manipulate you, as you lose the outside perspectives that might otherwise alert you to their behavior. Isolation leaves you vulnerable and unable to see the manipulation clearly, making it harder to escape their control. Number 9, passive-aggressive behavior to manipulate your reactions. Passive-aggressive behavior is another covert form of emotional manipulation. Instead of confronting you directly or expressing their needs or frustrations in a straightforward way, the manipulator uses indirect tactics to provoke a reaction. This could manifest as giving you the cold shoulder, making backhanded compliments, or forgetting things that are important to you. For instance, they may say something like, "It's fine, don't worry about it," when clearly upset, or "I guess I'll just do it myself," when they want you to feel guilty for not helping. These behaviors are meant to create confusion, frustration, and a sense of guilt, all without the manipulator having to take direct responsibility for their emotions. By being passive-aggressive, they manipulate the emotional climate of the relationship, leaving you unsure of how to respond. The uncertainty keeps you off balance, making it harder for you to call out the manipulation or confront their behavior without appearing unreasonable. Number 10, using flattery and charm to lower your defenses. Flattery is one of the most deceptive manipulation tactics because it feels so good in the moment. A manipulator might shower you with excessive praise, compliments, and charm to make you feel special and valued. They may tell you things like, "You're the most talented person I've ever met," or "I've never met anyone as wonderful as you." This charm offensive is designed to lower your defenses, making you more trusting and open to their influence. Once they've gained your trust through flattery, they can more easily exploit your vulnerabilities without you suspecting anything. You might feel so grateful for their admiration that you overlook red flags or excuses for their behavior. Over time, as their charm fades, the manipulator's true intentions become clear, but by then you may already be deeply emotionally invested. Flattery, when used manipulatively, is a tool to disarm you and gain control over your thoughts and actions. Number 11, constantly shifting the blame to avoid accountability. One of the most common tactics used by individuals who manipulate through dark psychology is to constantly shift the blame onto others to avoid taking responsibility for their own actions. If something goes wrong, they'll find a way to make it seem like it's your fault, even when they are clearly to blame. This can be incredibly frustrating, as you may find yourself in a cycle of self-doubt, questioning whether you really are the one at fault. For example, if you confront them about their behavior, they might respond with, "I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't made me angry," or "This wouldn't have happened if you had just listened to me." By never accepting accountability for their actions, they keep you off balance, always questioning your role in the relationship and feeling like you're the problem. This tactic allows the manipulator to maintain control over how you see the situation, keeping you trapped in their narrative while they escape blame. If any of these signs resonate with you, it's possible that someone is using dark psychology to control and manipulate you. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from their influence. Stay vigilant, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to set boundaries to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Have you encountered any of these tactics before? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into dark psychology.